Hey, it's Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and it's Monday. It's October 16th. This will be our chart lesson for the day, and believe it or not, October's halfway gone, so I just don't know where the time goes. But anyway, basically, this is another range day. Um, Prices traded for the most part within. We spent most of the day inside of the 25.52 and really inside of about 25.56. We've really traded down and then just right back up. And the market did close up a little bit from last week, so a couple of points, but really this is just a range day. So a few more trades today. Again, it won't take long to go through these, but let's talk about them and we'll go from there. But when I came in, we were just kind of bouncing sideways here. But notice how prices broke lower here and turned and went right out the other side. This is a really big bar. So you really can't enter on a buy stop one tick above that um, without risking a. That's a pretty big risk there. Let's see exactly how many. Um, that's actually an 8 tick. So you could have let it break higher and dropped it right at the top, maybe one tick in, and I doubt you'd have gotten filled except for right at the top. You probably would have gotten filled if you dropped it right at the top of that bar. Or you could have let it break higher above this one and dropped a limit order maybe a tick back and got filled, and then you'd have been in pretty good shape maybe. But just putting a stop above that, you're really outside your 8 tick rule there. So makes it a little bit risky. In that sense, it would have been a green. But it's a pretty good setup. It's not a very big movement for overnight, and you can see we moved up, we moved down, and that's your double test of that level, and we went higher again. And that's pretty much what you're looking at. We're just headed up. But that makes it really risky going long here, because if this is a range day, we're probably going to break a tick or so higher and turn down, and then you never know, we may not break higher. And that's only a first entry, so I'm not crazy about this. Is a reversal pattern. Notice that we push through the EMA, we pull back, and then there's your failed second entry short, and it is basically two measured legs up. So it looks like there's a good chance that maybe you've trapped somebody there. There's leg one, and then there's leg two. So we've got basically, and if you measured it actually from here, it's probably a perfect measured. Two measured legs, but it's pretty close just the way I measured it there. Measure from there, and then it would be from here. So yeah, it's a little bit more there, and it comes up a little bit short the other way. But anyway, you're going long right into this basically double top. You got a couple of sideways bars here. This one didn't quite close on its high. If you're wanting to be aggressive, you may try to let it break higher and enter far enough back that you got enough room to get out. But I really just think you're better off. If it had come back to the EMA, I might have liked it a little better. But you're still not back to the EMA. There's too big a chance it breaks higher and gives you another leg back and then goes high, tries to go higher. So it's just not a great setup. Same thing off the high up here. You do have your close outside move to a new high, and we're a good bit away from the EMA, but you're just kind of stacking up sideways again there. That's almost a doji. It's got a little bit of a bearish tint, but not much. So you expect prices to probably pull back here, but you're better off to wait on a lower high, and you never get one because the bottom just falls out of it. So this is where sometimes being aggressive pays off, but more of those trades are going to fail on you in the end. So again, I think you're better off just to skip that and then see if we don't get another bounce down here. Notice what happens. You've got a little trend working down, and there is a big overshoot here. Notice that we're working down there, and you get a big overshoot. Then you get a close outside, and you get a couple of moves down to a new low. Notice this low right here, and then we try to come back once. We try to test it twice. But you end up testing it a third time before you actually get a break higher. So no matter which one of those you liked, it didn't break higher till here. and so I like entering there. When it comes back again, I'm not going to add on to that, and I'm probably not going to enter there because by that time it's obvious we're kind of going sideways here. This does look like there is a double test of that level. There is a what looks like a failed break lower, but again, it's a really large bar right into all those highs. So you might give it one more bar to see what happens, one more test, and it does come back and test it again. But again, now it's right into all those highs, and look how many times we've turned down there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's been 8 bars that turned down there, so that's really risky. You want to see it push through once before you try to get long, or you want to have a breakout pullback long, and you just don't get that. You actually have a failed breakout, which is the reason you don't want to go long here, because that's what you expect to happen. We actually traded down into this, so there's a good chance we may get another leg down. This is a second entry short, very bearish bar, plenty of room to get out, so I like that trade. Excuse me, my voice is, we had a little cold spell here this morning. For some reason, it's affected my voice this morning. But anyway, that's a nice second entry short. I like that one. And you don't know that it's going to shoot all the way down like this, but you know, if it does go lower, you're looking for a possible measured move. Of course, we don't get anything like that, but and if it's going to be a range day, you figure we probably won't, but that's what you're looking at regardless. So you can see we did come up short there. But generally, that means you're going to get a pretty good move in the other direction. So that's a clue right out of the gate that, hey, we may go, if we start trending higher, we may go a good bit higher here. Hopefully, maybe all the way back up to test the highs. So, but notice what happens here. You get that failed break lower. Again, you're usually better off to wait on a higher low, and that doesn't come till here. We did push through the EMA and pull back, and notice where it closes right there along that support resistance. That's a really small bar, 2 ticks. It's a higher low. You are going long into the EMA, but this has been going sideways, and you fell out the top. Now it looks like you're going to fall out the bottom. So you're probably at least going back to here, and you may continue higher. So I like the risk there. Like I said, you're only going to risk 2 ticks there it's a very low risk trade, so I like it. You actually get your failure right here. The only problem is it doesn't really matter if you get a bearish bar here, but because you just had a breakout and this is a range, you probably want to wait on another test first. You could argue to enter there. I'd make it green though, because if you extend this, notice how you are back inside and you're going long right into those highs. So I'd like to see it fail again going short and you get a second entry long maybe, and you get that right here. So you could argue to enter there, but I think you're much better to wait on this one, and you can see how it took off after that. Those smart traders want to see a little more evidence that we're going higher first, and you don't get that till here because it pushes back through, then it pulls back and it makes a higher low again, and so you're still making higher highs and higher lows. You got one lower high here, but all these lows are higher. And so that's an uptrend, and that's a second entry long, and it turns out to be another great trade right there before the 2 o'clock hour. So, and that was pretty much it for the day. So there's some pretty good trades there. Most of them were scalps. If you caught this one, you might have caught a runner. Definitely had a runner here, and if you caught this one, you might have caught a runner. So, and actually, if you entered here, you probably would have had a runner. This actually entering right here, you would catch a runner here most likely. It did come back, but it depends on how you entered this one. If you entered with a stop, you would have gotten stopped out of that one on a runner. But if you gave your runner a little room, you would have had one there. So, but I don't recommend. If you're new to this, generally you want to use a break-even stop on your runners. That way you don't lose any money. You just pay for your commission, and you lose that. A lot of times I'll say break-even +1. Although you'll get stopped out more often like that on the best trades, generally like this one, you would have still survived a break-even +1. This one, if you had a runner, you would have survived a break-even +1, and maybe even this one, I'm not sure. Um, Actually, you may not have on that one. So I can't remember how, if it went lower first or higher and came down and went back. I can't remember. But anyway, not a bad trading day. Not a lot of trades, but for a sideways day, there was a nice trend down, and then there was a nice trend up at the same time. And there's actually two trends here. There's a shorter term one here, but then you can tell that's too steep, but then it kind of falls over at a 45-degree angle, and that's a nice healthy trend right there. So, and you can see that one's just working right on up through there. And so pretty good trading day. Not a great one, but not a bad one either for no more volatility and no more volume that we had today. So um, you had a chance to make some money today, and it was fairly straightforward as well. Notice you got this trend line moving up, you get a break, new high, then you got one moving down, you get an overshoot, you get a break. It actually had to push up and get a failed breakout, then you get a new low, and then it reverses, and you're still working up even we're actually into the overnight. That's your close at 3:15 my time, which is Central Standard Time. So um, but yeah, I'm not going to beat around the bush. That's pretty much it for today. Hope you had a good trading day. We'll be back again and do it tomorrow, but I'm done for today. This is Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and we'll see you next time.